UFC Paris recently wrapped up, and I'm going to recap the entire card. I'll start with the first fight of the night, and then we'll talk about the main event. I'm going to give you guys my post-fight reaction to everything. I'm looking forward to talking about this card once again. The final time we're going to talk about it, sadly. I miss UFC Paris already. It went by so damn fast. I feel like the cards that start earlier in the day go by even quicker than the usual late-night fight nights or pay-per-views. But it's all good because next week's a great card. I want to jump right into things, so make sure you guys smash the like button, and if you're new, subscribe. First fight of the night, Chris Duncan and Bolaji. This was a big upset win for Chris Duncan. I actually picked Duncan to get it done. Now, did I expect him to lock up a gilly like that and one-up Dustin Poirier, his boy? No, but it was a nice guillotine gilly. It was a nice little Goose Gilly gang win, but as far as like before that, the fight was a little sloppy in the striking. Oki clearly looked quicker, and he hit Duncan with some decent punches, but both guys looked a little chaotic on the feet. And Oki, he needed this first UFC loss because I feel like he's very raw. He's not too good, man. Like, he's powerful and he's explosive, and like he seems to have like really clean hands, but I feel like he's hittable as hell. He overthrows his shots a lot, and Chris Duncan was able to hit him with some decent punches. But when they engaged in the grappling, Chris Duncan ends up pulling off the guillotine, put him to sleep, which was interesting too because Bolaji Oki went to sleep after Duncan had let go of it. And then Duncan's like, yo, he's out. And the ref comes in and stops it. So, weird fight. Good win for Duncan. He was really emotional after he shouted out his, deceased mom. So, rest in peace to her. Congrats to Chris Duncan getting a win. He's a fun guy to watch. I like Chris Duncan. I think that he has a fan-friendly style that makes him, must watch on some of these Europe cards. Because either he's the hammer or he's the nail. It goes one of two ways. For the most part, either he's getting his ass whooped or he's putting a beat down. Or he gets a crazy submission win. But, normally Chris Duncan is getting hit big in fights and then coming back with big shots. And I guess he was hit kind of big here, and then he was able to come back with the guillotine. So shout out Chris Duncan for the W. He started the night off with a nice underdog win. Let's jump to the next fight. Ladies went after it. Ailín Cavalcanti versus Nora Cornolle. I disagree with the split decision. I think a split decision is dumb here. It was Ailín Cavalcanti's fight. I thought that she definitely got the better of Nora Cornolle for the most part. Technically outstruck her. Little clinch work. Had Cornolle hurt a couple of times. The only reason it was a split decision is because some bad judging from the French. And we will talk more about that bad judging on the damn main card. Ailín Cavalcanti clearly won this fight. This was the second time they faced off. Their first fight, Cavalcanti won it in a similar fashion. Congrats to her getting a W. She took it on short notice. She's pretty good from the outside with her kickboxing. She has decent grappling. She manages distance well. Cornolle's a bit too wild. She does have a bit of power, but isn't super precise. And isn't really good at striking from the long distance. She kind of throws more like short looping shots, which are better from close range. And dealing with Cavalcanti, who's more so the opposite, like straight punches and fighting from the outside, it's just a bad matchup every single time. So Cavalcanti at 27 will continue to move up the ranks. I don't think she's ready for the top 15 just yet. I think that her grappling is still a little bit of a worry, right? Cornolle did get her down at one point, and Cavalcanti kind of looks stiff on the floor. And I think if she takes on like some of the better grapplers in the women's bantamweight division, like imagine she fought Ailín Pérez, I think she's going to struggle with the takedowns. But stand-up wise, she can definitely go with a vast majority of girls at 135. Go win for Cavalcanti in the rematch. Unnecessary rematch, but a necessary win. Next fight, Daniel Barez versus Victor Altamirano. Hard fight for Daniel Barez, and he comes through with a win over Altamirano. So how it started was really exciting. Barez got a knockdown in like the first 50-something seconds. He landed a big right hand that dropped Altamirano. Granted, Victor Altamirano's Mexican, so the recovery was kind of expected. He did recover, and then Barez was able to finish. He threw a bit of ground and pound. They were back to striking a bit. He definitely won the first round. I thought Barez definitely landed more significant shots in the second round. He's kind of pushing Altamirano back and dictating the pace of the fight. Then comes round number 3, and this is where things went hard against Barez. He got caught with a spinning back fist. It was actually the forearm of Altamirano that hit Barez on the nose and like completely caved his nose in. It was absolutely badass. Altamirano actually had a dope third round. He was winning that third. Barez was still trying to compete. He was still coming forward, but ultimately he was getting outstruck by Altamirano late in the fight. And as close as the second round was, I won't lie, as they were going to read the scorecard, especially in France, I was worried a little bit. Granted, Barez, being from Spain, and Altamirano Mexican, I didn't think it was likely that we'd have any type of biased decision. And no, we didn't. Daniel Barez was the rightful winner. He's pretty explosive. He hits hard. I think he's a little too late to the UFC to do anything, though. Like, if you want my real opinion, Daniel Barez is probably going to lose his next fight against a guy who's slightly better than Victor Altamirano. Altamirano's kind of a lower tier guy in the 125-pound division. He's not bad. He's okay at boxing, and he's got, honestly, more so dangerous taekwondo kicks. He was working a ton of high kicks. Granted, like, barely landed any. Most of them were blocked, but damn, that's got to hurt the damn forearm. So, Altamirano looked all right. Surprisingly, didn't try to wrestle much. I think if I was him, I would have tried to wrestle more. A lot of kicks from long range. He's trying to use that taekwondo. Some shots in round 3 were nice, but he had already lost the first 2, and he needed a comeback finish, which just wasn't likely. And Barez takes home a win over, gritty journeyman and Victor Altamirano. But I'm telling you, at 35, flyweight division. I mean, I hope they do an event in Spain and you can put Barez on that and give him a favorable matchup maybe, or somebody fun. But in a realistic world, Daniel Barez is probably going to get beaten up as he moves up the ranks. I think he's good enough to be on the roster, but I don't think he's going to be thriving towards any high-level opposition in the UFC. Ultimately, though, still the W. And he was an underdog too, and I picked him. Next fight, Ailín Pérez, Daria Zheleznyakova. Ailín Pérez looked like a dead woman on the scale, missing weight and shaking, claiming that it was all an act. I don't believe that. I don't think it was all an act. I think she had a hard weight cut, but if it was all an act, then damn, 10 out of 10 actress. Shit. Zheleznyakova showed us exactly what most of us knew, most people that study the game knew. She was incredibly sus as far as grappling, but if she was able to fend off some takedowns, I thought, in the striking, this fight's interesting. But on the ground, if Pérez is on top of her, she has no chance. And that was 1,000% right. She was absolutely bodied. She got arm triangled in the first round. Pérez with a first finish, man. She normally is not finishing anybody, but starting to get some finishes out. This is good for Ailín Pérez. I thought it was a quality Pérez performance. Her wrestling's on point. She puts that fucking dump truck on you, and she's so damn heavy on top. I will shout out Ailín Pérez for twerking on Zheleznyakova after the fight. So unprofessional. Twerks right in her face. It was funny, though. I'm not saying you have to be professional. It's a goddamn cage fight. I just thought it was nasty. I'm like, Zheleznyakova, yo, your ass stinks, girl. Go fucking spray some shit on it, man. Go get a fucking wet wipe. Holy fuck. The twerk queen gets another W. Ailín Pérez beats the overrated Russian striker Daria Zheleznyakova, as she should have. She was a big favorite. The worries were post-weigh-in, but I still was on the Pérez side as far as the picks go. And I'm not surprised that when she got on top of Zheleznyakova, essentially no answer from the Russian. Good win, Ailín Pérez. Nice W. She's on a nice little streak. She's got potential for sure. I'll give her a fight to make in the Every Fight to Make Next series. Next fight on the card, Taylor Lapilus versus Vince Morales. I absolutely love this performance, and it's not like it was the most crazy, back and forth, wild fight ever. I just genuinely enjoy watching the striking techniques of Taylor Lapilus. The dude is incredibly precise. He's very technically sound. He's defensively sound. He has good wrestling defense. He has good get-up ability. He's able to manage distance really well. I feel as though Taylor Lapilus is just incredibly well-rounded. His striking is nice. He's not a knockout artist, but he lands a lot of strikes. He's a high-volume guy. He does damage, doesn't have a ton of power, doesn't need it, rips nice kicks, nice teeps up the center, elbows and knees on the inside, boxes well. He's always hitting you. Like, as you clinch him up and press him against the cage, he's working knees to the body. He's looking for elbows. And I think that Taylor Lapilus has one of the more enjoyable striking styles to watch. He's just smooth as hell. And he beat up Vince Morales for 3 rounds, but we're going to give Vince Morales respect here, okay? I'm not going to diss my guy. Vince Morales was tough. And when I say my guy, I don't mean I went out and picked him if you don't watch the predictions normally. No, I had Lapilus as everybody did. But I do respect Vince Morales for grinding as hard as he could to get back in the UFC and taking a really tough fight against Taylor Lapilus, because he wasn't supposed to win this fight. He didn't win this fight. It's very unlikely he beats a guy as skilled as a Taylor Lapilus. But what Vince Morales did is he earned his spot on the roster once again. He fucking did it, okay? And in a sense, even though the loss means it's an unsuccessful night, the win is the fact that he stepped inside of the cage and he went 3 hard rounds with Lapilus and he never quit on himself. He even shot for a couple dart strokes. Lapilus noticed it right away and got his neck out immediately. But Taylor Lapilus is incredibly proficient, man. I'm telling you, just too well-rounded. But Vince Morales is going to stick around. And I think Vince Morales can get a couple wins in the UFC. He's not a scrub. It's just Taylor Lapilus is really good. And I think there's an argument that Taylor Lapilus could get a fight in the top 15. I don't know about next fight, maybe one more. I don't have an opponent decided for him yet, but I'll definitely find somebody. I'm liking Taylor Lapilus' chances, though, of at least getting a fight in the top 15. I don't know how he's going to fare against the best of the best. I mean, we saw him lose to Basharat. Basharat's pretty clean, though, but still lost nonetheless. I think he's gotten a little better since then, and I would say he's a very well-rounded guy that at worst is going to beat a vast majority of guys outside of the top 15. So good win for Taylor Lapilus representing France and getting a dominant decision in what was a nice striking display. Next fight on the card, Ľudovít Klein, Roosevelt Roberts. Ľudovít Klein pulled out a nice win, but let me tell you, it was not nearly as easy as what was supposed to be. He was a minus 1,000 favorite in this fight. And in a sense, minus 1,000 means you were supposed to absolutely dominate your opponent. There's not supposed to be any competitive moments. Round one was relatively competitive. Now, I scored it for Ľudovít Klein, but Roosevelt Roberts landed some straight punches. He stopped some takedowns. He made it a hard fight. Now, round two, Ľudovít Klein got on top, beat Roberts up a bit. Round three, some striking, some more of the same. Ľudovít Klein cruises to a win. Ľudovít Klein is relatively good. It's just he's not a great finisher, which is something that probably holds him back from getting a major fight, especially a Roosevelt Roberts, who, I'll be honest with you, was supposed to be like a victory handed to him on a platter. I think the anticipation was that Ľudovít Klein was going to absolutely wreck Roosevelt Roberts, that Ľudovít Klein was going to knock him out or submit him. Unfortunately, more so a control-heavy, dominating, smothering grappling game with a bit of ground and pound from Ľudovít. Does this dwindle his hype a little? Maybe. I know he's on a great unbeaten streak. What is it, like 7 fights now? 4-fight win streak, too. And it's not like it's, been awful opposition. Before this fight, he beat Thiago Moises. It's how you do it. Now, granted, Roosevelt Roberts is training at Killcliff FC now, and he looks a lot better in this fight than he did even on The Ultimate Fighter or against Mateusz Rombeszki. So I think Roosevelt Roberts definitely deserves another chance. I'm going to also say that. I would like to see Roberts get one more fight. I don't think they should cut him after a loss to Ľudovít Klein. I do think he's starting to come together. It's just Ľudovít Klein was clearly better. He was supposed to knock him out or submit him. Ľudovít Klein was supposed to destroy him, and he turned out to win a lopsided decision. But overall, way too close for comfort when you're looking at minus 1,000 odds. I thought Ľudovít was probably going to knock him out, but instead grinds to a decision. There was a small piece of me that thought it was a possibility, but I said no. Ľudovít's trying to make a run now. Ľudovít's taking this shit serious. Ľudovít's going to take him out. I was wrong. Ľudovít Klein's not a good finisher. He's got some power, but to be fair, he was dealing with a freakishly tall Roosevelt Roberts, which makes fighting a giant tough, man. He's 6'2" to 5'7". So it's harder for him to land some kill shots. We'll see what the UFC does next with Ľudovít. He's not far away from the top 15, but as stacked as lightweight is, I don't think a win like this gets you a top 15 fight next. Next fight on the card, it was Oumar Sy versus Woon Jung. This was a coming out party performance for Oumar Sy. Now, before you guys flame me in the comments, no, he is not the next John Jones. I have said all week, I think this guy could be the French John Jones. I didn't assume he'd, go on a 10-fight win streak at the damn top of the division, but at the very least, I thought, he could make a run. After the fight against Woon Jung, I think he's got the tools to close in on the top 15, but I'm not so sure he's going to fare great against some of the better guys in that top 15. I think he's going to ultimately run into trouble as he continues to climb up the ranks. It's just beating a Woon Jung was a must. Beating a Woon Jung, for me, expected method of victory. Oumar Sy, in the first round, was looking kind of uncomfortable on the feet. As he started to fail some takedowns, I started to worry a tad. But then when Oumar Sy was boxing with Woon Jung and getting the better of him in the striking exchanges, I was like, damn, okay, I like what I'm witnessing. His hands look pretty on point. His boxing looks pretty clean. He's looking smooth. Already he's hitting Jung with good shots. And then in the third round, he even forced Woon Jung to turn into a bit of a grappler. So I thought that there was a moment of growth that happened throughout this fight for Oumar Sy. Now, Best case scenario, even though we wouldn't have got to witness his heart or his determination or his gas tank, if he would have taken down Woon and submitted him in the first round, we'd be talking about him fighting somebody in the top 15 next. Now, we're pumping the brakes, okay? Let's take the time. At 28 years old, light heavyweight division, he's a relatively young guy, and I still think he's got some development to do. Now, I'm recognizing skills. I'm recognizing potential. I'm recognizing 6'4", 83-inch reach is a frame that could give anybody problems. But I do think there's moments of him being a little clunky on the feet, overshooting takedowns, putting himself in awkward spots. And I just think that, patience on his way up to the top. But it's not like Woon didn't do good against Carlos Ulberg, right? He had moments, and then Ulberg ended up finishing him. So Oumar had a pretty good performance against Woon and got a unanimous decision win. So I see how good Ulberg is doing now. It doesn't necessarily mean that because he didn't absolutely smash Woon in 5 minutes that he isn't somebody to watch in the future. It's just I don't think yet. I think we still need to see a bit more. I don't think he should fight somebody in the rankings next. But light heavyweight is on the thinner side, and they're always looking for contenders. So I don't know. Oumar could be closer to the top 15 than we may anticipate. But he is still undefeated, and he did get a hard-fought win. Respect to Oumar C. beating Woon. Next fight on the card, it was our featured prelim of the night. Iwan Cutelaba versus Ivan Erslan. Cutelaba did his thing. He took out the KSW fighter. Now, the split decision was bullshit. It was a unanimous decision. Erslan had okay punches in the fight, but I do think he was getting outstruck a lot of it. Definitely got out-grappled a bit too, outpaced. Ivan Erslan won the third round, but he didn't fight hard enough for it. Like, he wasn't throwing a lot of ground and pound. He was kind of just, like, comfortably sitting on top of him. And I'm like, are you fucking with me? Erslan needed to be dropping jackhammers. Instead, it was like he was trying to work towards a position where he could find a submission, or he was just trying to secure his control. I hated it. I actually think that Ivan Erslan, is okay. He's not going to be elite in the UFC or anything like that. I never thought that he was, but I did think that his striking looked promising from what I saw from him in KSW, but Cutelaba actually got the better of Erslan in most of the striking exchanges. So well-deserved win for Iwan Cutelaba, competitive, but I did think he got the first 2 rounds, and the only round I scored for Erslan is round 3, and 29-28 was the fairest scorecard. Commentary was talking about this is the best Cutelaba ever, and he was looking pretty good in the first 2, but the dude still gasses come round 3. And I still think Cutelaba is the same. 18-10 record is fitting for him. He'll win some, but he's also going to lose some too. He's a very 50-50 fighter, and he took out a debut in Ivan Erslan, and in the third round, he was getting absolutely bodied, so not a great look. Granted, he did finish the fight strong with that takedown at the very end, and who knows, maybe if it was 5 rounds, he would have put it on Erslan in the 5th or the 4th, whatever. Yeah, Erslan, the Croatian, he was trying to follow the Cro Cop legacy, but it's just not followable. And granted, Cro Cop didn't do good in the UFC either, to be fair. He did great in Pride. Cutelaba gets a hard-fought win, beats the KSW fighter, and I think we have to remember, as we get guys coming in from other leagues, especially like a KSW, we got to rate a fuckload of UFC experience, even if there's a lot of losses in the mix, over being a title challenger and losing in another organization. So Cutelaba, UFC veteran move, UFC veteran experience, UFC veteran win. Good W for him. Next fight, it brings us to our main card opener. If you guys haven't yet, make sure you smash that like button. And if you're new to the channel, subscribe it up. Perez, Ziam versus Matt Frevola. This was Ziam's coming out party. He looked off the chain good in this fight. He beat the brakes off of Matt Frevola. In the striking, Ziam was destroying Frevola. Clearly out kickboxed him. Now, Frevola had a bit of wrestling moments in the first round. He was trying to bring pressure, but he struggled to really do anything substantial in the fight. He was winging some overhands, but even at the end of the first round, he's looking awkward. Ziam's catching him with some decent shots. The striking from range is on point from Ziam. The takedowns are a failing game plan for Matt Frevola. He can't find the chin of Ziam. He's reaching with overhands, and he just can't touch him. Ziam's looking good from the outside, throwing clean punches. Ziam then engages in grappling with Matt Frevola, puts him on the ground, and he's beating him in the fucking grappling position. So I thought that was really impressive for Faraz Ziam, is the fact that he was able to out-grapple Matt Frevola too. And I'm like, all right, we're cruising to a win. Ziam just destroyed Matt Frevola for 3 rounds. Nope. Ziam with the knee to the face that ends Matt Frevola. Lights are shut off. And then Ziam's like, yeah, let me give you 2 more. Bang, bang. Super unnecessary. Holy hell. They didn't need to do Frevola like that. Ziam, you knew he was flat out. Frevola, and he's just getting his head fucking smashed. Holy shit, I'm happy, got out okay. They did like a CT scan. They said, something was negative. It's all right, no bleeding of the brain. But broken orbital bone, some serious damage. Frevola should take a layoff. He's coming off back-to-back knockout losses. I really think he needs to chill for a little while. Take like 9 months off. Because he's taken some serious damage in his past 2. And this Ziam knockout was the most brutal knockout probably on the card, I'd say. And one of the more brutal knockouts of the year. The knee, but then it was also the extra 2 shots at the end. Holy. Fares Ziam looked like the smile killer. At 27, the dude has gotten way better. And there's an argument that Ziam deserves to fight somebody in the top 15. If it's not somebody in the top 15, it's definitely somebody close to it. And I'm impressed. Ziam with a massive W, absolutely dismantling Matt Frevola. Next fight on the card, Morgan Charriere and Gabriel Miranda. First round, Miranda came out a little crazy, trying to grapple, and Charriere was able to defend the attacks. Charriere was even on top of him a bit. Miranda just consistently pulling guard. He's like a typical very fast-paced jiu-jitsu fighter where he wants to fight on the ground no matter if he's on top or bottom, which in MMA is normally a recipe for disaster, and it absolutely was. Now, granted, Miranda did get Charriere's back late in the first round, didn't do anything with it. Charriere in round number 2 lands a devastating hook that puts him out. Yep, it was a left hook, just wanted to make sure. Flat goes Miranda at the start of round 2, done. My prediction on this fight was kind of like top G perfect. I said second round KO. And I thought that would be the money hitter, bro. Second round knockout. It made perfect sense to me. Miranda is like a bat out of hell in round 1. But as things start going against him, and you could see even like towards the end of round 1, there's moments where he's losing confidence. I knew he was going to be in trouble. And then Charriere showcases that knockout power. The dude's explosive and absolutely decapitates Miranda. Good win for Charriere. He's a pretty skilled guy. He's got good grappling defense. He's really athletic. He's fast. He's got punching power. I'd say he's relatively precise with his shots too. I think Morgan Charriere is a really fun addition to featherweight. I mean, his 3 fights in the UFC, Miranda knockout, Zacchini knockout, and then he lost a really close split decision at Chepe Mariscal. And losing to Chepe is really not a bad look. Chepe's pretty damn game. So Morgan Charriere is a guy to definitely keep an eye on. I expect some more wins from him. And he's only 28. It's kind of crazy how young he is. Sick KO, highlight reel, badass performance, clean W, and did it exactly how I thought he would. Miranda tries to come after him in round 1, and then round 2, kill shot. Good shit, Charriere. Next fight on the card, it was Bryan Battle versus Kevin Jousset. Bryan Battle was my lock of the week, so you guys knew I was happy as hell after this one. So round 1, Battle and Jousset are relatively competitive in the boxing. I would say Battle looking quicker, but Jousset maybe landing some more powerful shots. Battle is, for the most part, winning the engagements inside of the clinch, having Jousset backed up against the cage, landing some shots in the close range, but really hunting for takedowns. And Jousset hit him with a couple of counter throws from there using that judo black belt. Bryan Battle was not deterred, though. He still was trying to wrestle even till the very end of the first round, and he landed 0 takedowns. But what he did do is he forced Jousset to be very defensive and fight at a higher pace than he's comfortable with. Round number 2, a little bit more of the same from Battle, but a lot more boxing, and he's touching Jousset with straights. He's getting hit too, but he's hitting Jousset with more shots. A lot of volume strikes from Battle, and his hand speed's looking good. He's just touching him, pa, 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 pa. I don't know why. In moments, it reminded me of like, I don't know, Nick Diaz. Not that it really was like Nick Diaz, but the fact that he's throwing shots that land clean and damage the face, but they're not like knockout punches. They're just shots that slowly beat you up and slowly wear you down. And slowly but surely, that's the right term, Bryan Battle broke down Kevin Jousset, wore him out, beat him up on the feet, and got a standing TKO as he was landing good punches, and Jousset was out of there. He was done. Jousset had no way to keep up with the pace that Bryan Battle had set. Battle looked awesome. Bryan Battle, 10 out of 10 performance, and I'm telling you, he's getting damn close to the top 15, and if you're not on the Bryan Battle hype train, what are you doing? How are you not a fan of Battle? He's a great dude. Ultimate Fighter winner. I've got to see the whole run from him, and I'm always happy to see the evolution. His boxing looked better than ever tonight, and his chin definitely is strong as well. Jousset got simply outworked and outpaced. He got outdogged, really. Bryan Battle is great at breaking people, and I love that style, man. Definitely a style that's must watch, and I definitely think Bryan Battle, the new Butcher nickname, is a lot more fitting because he butchered Kevin Jousset. Now, the question is, was that post-fight speech the post-fight speech of the night? That was funny as hell, dude. Holy shit. Bryan Battle called out the French. He said, no way I'm losing a fight with the French dude or something like that. That was really good. Bryan Battle's funny. No way I'm losing a fist fight to a French guy. That was funny. Bryan Battle looked great. He was talking his crap to the damn crowd. And then I'm on Twitter, and what do they see? What do I see? This blew my mind, guys. If you haven't seen this, this is absolutely freaking crazy. So they're saying, and I don't know if this is 100% going to hold up, but they are saying that currently Bryan Battle is supposedly, this is from Spinning, this is a troll. Oh my God, they trolled me. Spinning Back Piss trolled me. Thought it was Spinning Back Fist. Wow, they got me good, bro. Holy shit. Shout out Spinning Back Piss's troll account. I just realized it on the show. It was saying that Bryan Battle was getting a $250,000 freaking fine for flipping off the crowd. The French ain't doing him that dirty. I wouldn't doubt it with the French, though. To be a little Moicano-like, I wouldn't doubt it with the French. I got to pop a Zin in, guys. I want to make this a more enjoyable show than ever. Let me pop a Zin. So this segment is brought to you by Zins. Get one. Put it in your lip. It's like a pillow, only for your lips. Let's pop it in. God bless the Zin. Bryan Battle looked awesome. I was really happy. He was my lock of the week. The lock is back on fire. I'm feeling really good. We had a great card, man. Holy hell. We'll talk about the review of the picks and all at the end. But very, very, very happy with Bryan Battle. A showcase performance and a massive W. Let's go. Next fight on the card, William Gomis versus Joe Anderson Brito. This fight was a robbery. It was a blatant robbery, and I know some of you guys are going to be in the comments, no, it wasn't, dude. I went back and rewatched this, okay? I rewatched the first and third round. The second round was obviously Brito's. I didn't need to. I went back and rewatched because I wanted to know, did I score this wrong live? Because I know I gave the first 2 rounds to Brito. Third round was relatively competitive, and I think you could have gave it to Gomis, but it really could have gone either way. It was a coin flip round. So I was sure it was 29-28 Brito at worst. It's a split decision for Gomis. The French screw job. That's exactly what this is. First round, I went back and rewatched, and I said, let me see. Did Gomis do enough? No, he didn't. He just laid on Brito from the guard. He did nothing from top position. He landed nothing. He did no damage, man. And then Brito on the feet rocked him with 2 big hooks, caught him in a fully locked-in guillotine to close out the round. Obviously, Joe Anderson Brito won. All Gomis did is kind of sit on top of him. And even the sequence that ended with Gomis on top was a sequence that Brito was engaging in. Brito's the one that was putting the pressure. Gomis just laid on him. He laid there. He didn't even land the takedown to get him there. He just slipped. And then freaking Brito overshoots the back control, falls on his back. And now, oh my God, Gomis wins the round. No. No way. He did nothing. He did nothing. He lost the first round without a doubt. 100%. Joe Anderson Brito's first round. He rocked him at the end and had him in a fully locked-in guillotine. He won the second round, obviously. Third round was really close. It was competitive back and forth. Brito actually was landing some good ground and pound strikes, but Gomis probably got the better of him in the striking. And I would say that Gomis finished it maybe ever so slightly stronger, enough where with that deep, submission attempt where Brito falls to his back, and even though the back in the striking, Brito kind of won the last exchange. So I gave the third round to Gomis. Actually, I meant Gomis kind of won the last exchange. Let me walk that back. So I give the third round Gomis, but the first 2 rounds were 1,000% Brito. Go back and rewatch the first round. Gomis did 0. Gomis did nothing on the feet. All Gomis did was sit in guard. And he did nothing. Oh, but the control. He didn't even bring it there. He did nothing from the top. And then Brito was attacking him, pressing him, pushing him backwards, throwing hard shots, landing hard shots, rocking him, and catching him in a fully locked-in guillotine. Brito won this fight, no doubt about it. French screw job, bad decision. I'm sorry, Joe Anderson Brito. You got to win those damn third rounds, man. He fumbled the bag. He fumbled the bag. You can't trust those damn blind judges. You got to make sure you win everything so you don't give them any reason to screw you sideways. But yeah. The winner was Joe Anderson Brito. Truthfully, It was not a Gomis win. It was a bad decision. And going back and rewatching it, I had to, because I was thinking I was going to come on here and say, well, maybe. But I'm like, nah, don't be a bitch. Tell the people straight up. The first round was 1,000% Joanderson Britos, as was the second. The third round is the only round you can debate. Some people can score that third round for Brito. I will score it for Gomis, because I'm not biased. But you could kind of lean it towards Brito. It wouldn't be the worst thing ever, but I'm giving it to Gomis. This fight was 29-28, Joanderson Brito. That was the scorecard that should have been universal. And this was a robbery. Oh, close fights aren't robberies. No, they can be, because the wrong person won. And that's what a robbery is. It means you're getting robbed. Okay? A robbery is you're robbed. Not, oh, this fight was so dominantly this guy, but the other guy won, then it's robbery. Yeah, it's a robbery too. But a close fight can be a robbery. Don't ever buy the BS that a close fight can't be a robbery. The right person winning and then the right person not winning, that equals robbery. Okay? Fair decision is the right person wins. Joanderson Brito should have won. This is not cope. Go back and rewatch and you will see it. I know plenty of you guys are going to agree with me. W's to all of you. Let me know in the comments if you do. This was Joanderson Brito's fight. Unfortunately, not getting a finish and not finishing strong is costing him a win and costing him a shot at the rankings, because that's what was probably next if Brito was to win. But now he's sent back to the unranked, man. And Gomis calls out Diego Lopez. No chance, bro. Gomis has zero chance to get a fight against Diego Lopez. That's an obscure call. Oh, well, he beat him on Contender. Dog, if it happened outside the UFC, I don't care if it's Contender. It don't matter. It don't matter. Gomis needs to, I don't know, fight somebody close to the top 15, I guess, now, because he's undefeated 4-0 in the UFC, but he lost his decision, and they just gave it to him. Bad split decision. Should have went the other way. But congrats to Gomis getting it done in front of the French crowd. They gave it to him, the French screw job, but he didn't win the fight. Joanderson Brito won this fight, 1,000%. Next fight, Nasruddin Imavov versus Brendan Allen. It was our co-main event. Listen, I was hyped. This is a perfect prediction too. Nasruddin Imavov was taken down and controlled for the whole first round, but I'll be honest. I thought about grabbing my pillow and closing my eyes, because there was literally nothing happening. Brendan Allen just sat on him. That's all. Just sit on him. Bum, 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 time going by. Fucking hold position. Switch, hold. Don't really throw any ground and pound. Brendan Allen did nothing with it. He didn't use the dominant position. He tried to control but not do anything. Instead of trying to force a finish, trying to throw some big ground and pound, trying to pull some big elbows off, do what, who in the main event did. Instead, Allen just sat on him. Okay. I won the first round. Round two comes. He can't land a takedown. Imavov's outboxing him. Imavov outstruck him for the whole round. Imavov landed good shots. Imavov's pressing him. Imavov's making Allen uncomfortable. Imavov has ended up on top of Allen. Imavov gets Allen's back. Was that in the second or third? I don't remember exactly, but I know it was at some point in the second or third. Imavov landed big strikes in the feet. And then in the third round, Allen's striking was actually looking good, but the dude just can't quit on these horrible single legs. Imavov is stopping everything. And then Imavov's tired. They're both gassed, but Imavov's getting the better of him in the exchanges. Imavov is backing him up against the cage. And Imavov takes home a unanimous decision. Deserved decision. Brendan Allen fumbled the bag by not going for broke when he had the dominant position. You need to take advantage, man. This lay and pray shit is going to cost you. If Allen would have fought his ass off for a finish, at worst, he would have done some damage. It gave himself a better chance later in the fight if he had Imavov cut up. Or at worst, oh, fuck, I'm gassed, I lose. You already lost anyways, though. What's the difference? Yeah, good win for Imavov, and he calls for a title fight. Get out of my face, title fight. Title fight for Imavov? Hell no, not after this performance. I don't even want Imavov, Kyle Barajo. That might be a sensible next fight, but I might just say give him Vettori at this point. I don't know when Vettori's going to be available. That could be it. Maybe they're doing Allen, Vettori. I don't know. I'll do the fights to make next series, and then I'll find out. I'll match make for you guys. I'll make sure I sit on it a little longer. But I definitely don't want Imavov in a title fight next. I don't know if Imavov deserves a fight against an Adesanya. I guess Barajo could be a sensible next option, battle of up-and-coming contenders, but I kind of would rather see Barajo get a big fight. But then it's where does Imavov go? He needs to fight somebody. He's coming off some big wins. He's in a position to challenge for the belt, potentially with one more. Definitely not yet, though. Respect to Imavov getting it done. Beat Brendan Allen. Won the unanimous decision. Outgamed him. Survived that first round. 29-28. Got the second and third. And as I said in the breakdowns all week, The takedown defense for Imavov gets better with time. In the first round, he was taken down in 20 seconds. And then he's stopping every takedown in the second and third. Good performance for Imavov. Nice win. Next fight was our main event of the evening. If you guys haven't yet, make sure you smash the likes. And if you're new, subscribe. I told you so. I picked Money Moicano. I feel like I was the odd man out all week. I mean, what? 25% of the people picked Moicano on Tapology. I was definitely in the minority. Most people in chat were on Benoit Saint-Denis. Everybody was thinking he was a lock this week. And I said, nah, Money Moicano can win this fight. I think Money Moicano exceeded my expectation of him because I did think Benoit would have some more success in the striking and in the grappling defense in the first round. But no, Money Moicano took Benoit Saint-Denis in the first round and beat him like he was on the schoolyard, beating the shit out of Benoit Saint-Denis. Elbows, punches, ground and pound. Just absolutely destroyed Benoit Saint-Denis. His face was meshed. It looked like you just put him in a blender. Renato Moicano showcased what ground and pound is all about. And some of these other good wrestlers with nice top control need to take note, as Moicano did some devastating damage to Benoit Saint-Denis, nearly finished him a couple of times in the first round, and got a clear 10-8 as he beat the absolute shit out of him from the top. Then comes round 2. And Benoit Saint-Denis' eyes closed. Both eyes are cut up. The left eye is destroyed. The right eye is destroyed. The dude can't see. No way he can see. The right eye was beaten up worse. I believe the right eye was the eye with the cuts, and the left eye was just swollen as hell. Competitive round 2, but I think Moicano was outboxing him. But they said, Benoit landed more strikes. And then I guess the judges supposedly gave Benoit Saint-Denis that second round. That's some French bias again. Don't tell me that French bias don't exist. Ailín and Moicano both had to do a drug test yesterday with blood work and all that shit right after the weigh-ins. I call BS. Why just the main and co-main event fighters who are fighting against the French? Come on. Come on now. That commission's dirty. Renato Moicano won the second round, I think. I don't know. Benoit Saint-Denis was so busted up. He was getting touched up still. I still thought he lost that round. He threw some more shots. He landed a couple, but I don't think he did much. And then between rounds, they stopped it. Benoit Saint-Denis' eye was completely shut. He couldn't see a thing. The cuts were devastating. His right eye shut, left eye nearly shut. And they call it doctor stoppage. Moicano had his back. Like, Money Moicano looked great in round 1. Money Moicano's grappling dominance was insane. The fact that he took down and bullied BSD like that was awesome. Especially that, like, BSD beat the shit out of Poirier early in that fight and looked so dominant in the grappling that it had pretty much, majority of MMA fans fooled thinking that he was like an Islam Makhachev type grappler. But he's not. Money Moicano looks great with his jiu-jitsu. Now, he was failing some takedowns in the second round, to be fair. Benoit Saint-Denis was better defensively, but he was already so beaten up that he didn't have much left in the tank. The doctor's stoppage leads us to one of the most badass post-fight speeches ever. Moicano essentially attacking all governments of the world, specifically the French government, talking all anti-globalism. It was absolutely phenomenal, and Moicano gets a 10 out of 10 and a round of applause for being incredibly based. Based post-fight speech. I'll do a better round of applause. You better be clapping at home, too. I hear some of you clapping, but I know some of you weren't. And then Moicano said, give me the easy money. Give me easy money. He calls out who? Dan Hooker, Paddy Pimblett. Perfect call-outs because either one of those fights is big. Either one of them makes sense. And he does have clear-cut advantages in both of those fights. I think the Paddy Pimblett fight is bigger, though. As much as, I want to say, Dan Hooker, he's higher in the rankings. Paddy Pimblett is a very, very popular fighter. Paddy Pimblett's got a big YouTube, big Instagram. The dude's got followers, man. And forget about the rankings. As far as eyes on the fight, that is a massive fight for Money Moicano. And it'll blow up his damn YouTube channel more than before if he fights against Paddy. I think Money Moicano versus Paddy Pimblett is a phenomenal fight to make. I really believe that it is a main event worthy fight night or potentially on a main card featured bout of the night or even co-main event. I think it's a fight that deserves a countdown, so it better be on a pay-per-view. I also think if they want to go crazy with it, okay, we need fun coaches for the Ultimate Fighter. Can we listen to this idea? Ultimate Fighter Moicano versus Paddy Pimblett. You do all of the best guys from the UK versus like all of the best guys from Brazil. It's not a horrible idea. You can have the countries clash, Brazil versus the UK. I think this could be a massive Ultimate Fighter season. Now, the worry is that maybe the Brazilians and the guys from the UK won't get along too well in the house, but it's good TV. And I'm telling you right now, that could 1000% bring the Ultimate Fighter back. We need a special season, man. Grasso Shevchenko ain't it. McGregor Chandler ain't it, because those coaches didn't give a fuck. I think Moicano and Paddy would actually give a fuck as coaches, and I think it would only make their fight bigger. So yes, Renato Moicano versus Paddy Pimblett coaching the Ultimate Fighter could be a dream scenario. Issue is timing. I don't know when the next recording of the Ultimate Fighter will begin, and then having to wait to fight until after the season ends. It could be annoying. It could be unrealistic. But if it did happen, I'm telling you guys, we would absolutely love it. Moicano Paddy would be fun. Now, the Dan Hooker fight's not a horrible idea either. It's just the Paddy fight sitting there. It's like, shit, why not make it? It's a huge fight. It would be awesome. And then whoever wins is now in a great spot to get a massive fight. So I want to see it from Money Moicano. The money keeps cashing, bro. Follow the money. Follow Money Moicano. For BSD, bad loss, but he will be back. It's not like his career is over, but I do think he's a bit overrated. And I think that it was officially proven that he's a tad bit overrated today, as Money Moicano did a shit ton of damage. At the very least, he's overrated in his grappling prowess, and I do think he's also overrated in his striking skills. He's not very accurate. Money Moicano with the massive win. That was UFC Paris, and damn, your boy picked the main event right. I was happy. The stream was going crazy as we picked that main event. I took my shirt off in shadow box, man. If you guys want to see it, go check out the live stream. Let's look at the picks, and let's see. I'm just going to flex my record out the gate. 11-3. Really, we should have been 12-2. Started off with a big underdog win with Chris Duncan. Followed up with the perfect prediction with Jacqueline Cavalcanti. Then another underdog win with Barez. Then the Ailín Pérez win. Then the Taylor Lapilus perfect prediction. Then the Ľudovít Klein win. Then the Oumar win. Lost with Erslan to Cutelaba. I shouldn't have picked the KSW guy. I had too much faith in punching power. Lost with the underdog Frevola to Ziam. Respect to Ziam. Won with Charriere, perfect prediction on the second round knockout. Lock of the week, Bryan battle, cashes, let's go. Controversial decision, I got robbed of my win with Brito, unfortunately. Win with Nasruddin Imavov over Ailín, perfect pick. And the big underdog, Money Moicano main event prediction comes through. So yes, 11-3, but in a perfect world, it's 12-2. That was UFC Paris. I enjoyed the hell out of it. I hope you guys enjoyed the hell out of it too. It was a lot of fun, man. I love the Paris cards. The Paris crowd comes heavy, man. I do think that Gomis and Brito fight was badly scored. If you want to go back and rewatch it yourself so you can see where I'm coming from, you definitely should. I hope you guys enjoyed my content, breaking down this card throughout the week, and then obviously the live stream, giving you guys the heat for every single fight. I'll be back tomorrow with full card predictions for this upcoming UFC 307 card, live streams, daily content, everything. You don't want to miss it. I'll be here every single day on the channel, so make sure you subscribe. Make sure you turn the post notifications on. Thank you guys for 37,500 subscribers. I'm shooting myself backwards. Thank you guys for that. We're on the way to 38,000 for next week, so I'm excited as hell. I appreciate everybody for supporting. Big W's to everybody in chat. I love each and every one of you. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one. If you got nothing to say in the comments too, W's in the chat. Boost the algorithm for your boy. Thanks, guys. Peace out.